What's happening, people? We're back again, episode 3, Chattin Pony with Paddy The Baddy. Today, I've got Paul Reed with me, one of the smartest people I know. He's just started an even closer relationship. He's gonna be me S&C coach, and already I can see the improvements. Know what I mean? He's when it comes to fitness and weight cutting and stuff like that, towards MMA, boxing, anything like that, he's the man to go to. So, introduce yourself, Paul.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me on, mate. Paul Reed, jack of all trades, I guess, is an interesting description, but I have a corporate business that is my own business in the Mercedes-Benz commercial vehicle world, and then I have a passion for combat sports because I've been involved in it a long time. So promoting, having my own show, helping people make weight, trying to talk to people about doing the right things, being athletes, performance generally. I'm interested in coaching performance, running your business and getting people to perform every day. You know, is similar thing to getting in people to perform every day in combat sport or whatever they do. Performance is performance, right? So it's just something I enjoy, and it's kind of took off because I had, working with people just to help them out really and give them some pointers. But it's took off for me, didn't it? It started like everybody I worked with made weight. Yeah. Everybody I worked with felt better. No silly saunas, no killing themselves, making weight without dehydration, and good food, and teaching them how to eat, and all the basics really, because the basics is generally what we got wrong. So it just kind of took off for me, Pat, didn't it?
Like at first when you were coming in, it was just like to help the lads. It was like a hobby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you like helping people, know what I mean? You was helping us with stuff like that. Just like me with the MMA, it started off as a hobby and it ended up becoming a full-time job. Like we met, how many years ago was it now? 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's where they start having the shows, I guess.
Shinobi. Paul used to have a show called Shinobi. I'm sure plenty of you have seen it, and I know most of them will have seen it from Vinci versus Dylan.
Well, the fight.
Everyone's seen that fight. It's had hundreds of thousands or millions of views.
That's millions, I think, actually.
It's on millions, that one round where Adam absolutely put a beat down on him.
Yeah.
And through that, Paul has seen a lot of people saying up to weigh-ins looking like skeletons, and that gave him a passion to start helping people to just losing it properly. I've done it myself in the past. I've absolutely killed myself to make weight.
Well, nobody knows it more than you, right?
No, I know. I've lost like 17 pounds overnight before, and I've looked very unwell. Looked like I've just come out of a concentration camp.
Yeah,
and
fair comment.
It's stuff like this. It's a side of the sport what a lot of people don't see. A lot of people just think, they train, they can just eat, and then they get in there and fight. It's not like that. For us, making weight is the hard part. Making weight's what we get paid for. We all enjoy fighting. Everyone enjoys fighting. It's the making weight what kills us. And having someone like Paul on board helps fighters he helps fighters all across the Northwest. And you do it from a scientific approach as well, don't you, Paul?
I do it. I think there was a starting point to it all, which is about, because I'd done various nutrition diplomas, I've always studied, but I've never been able to hit the academic level of going to uni and stuff, because I've got a big business I had to run.
Yeah, of course.
And that business took me 50,000 miles a year to travel in, and took over my life. I've had the business for 15 years, but I've been in the corporate world of Mercedes since I was 23, 24.
Yeah, long time.
But I'm just a working class lad, but I worked hard to get where I am, kind of stuff. So I never had the opportunity to do the things I wanted, like go to uni, get the actual qualifications, the theory side. But at the same time, I've never stopped studying and reading from the best and taking from the best, and kind of understood health, fitness, weight loss, fat loss, this kind of stuff. But I'm also a diabetic. So being a diabetic means I have to manage my diet really strictly and understand this.
More than most.
Certain days I can eat more carbohydrate, and certain days I can't, and I, what I'm like, Pat, I wear everything to me.
Paul's got a ring to monitor his heart rate and stuff. He's got a little watch here. He's got all the best gadgets.
I've got blood constant glucose monitor in my stomach going off, and because what I learned to understand was that, and so work by the fantastic James Morton about fuel for the work required, which is about athletes. But for me, I fuel for the day about being diabetic, because the bottom line, I'm fueling to make sure that I'm not fucking going to die early. Yeah. Right. So and I maintain good weight. and I'm 52 soon, and I'm not bad for 52. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. You do work out with us, and
yes.
you put us through stuff that I know you can do yourself.
Yeah, but the starting point was like when I was just looking at the athletes making weight and stuff, and taunting them to think, Christ, they don't even know what they're eating in calorie wise. They don't even know what a macro is: carbohydrate, fat, protein. Like they have no idea. What they do is think they keep talking about eating clean, which is, doesn't make any sense. Eat clean's fine, but actually it's how much you eat that matters, right? And then when they think about calories, they think like they go on these mad diets of 1,000 calories a day.
I never used to look into the calories and stuff, did I? I used to just eat, thinking, that's healthy, you know what I mean? Leading up to them fights, leading up to the Erosa fight, to the NAD fight, fights like that, I was probably eating less than 1,000 calories a day. My fight preparation, I wasn't preparing for a fight. I was preparing to make weight.
Exactly, mate.
And me training was hindering because of it, and that's what a lot of people don't get when it comes to MMA.
That's the thing when I started. So first and foremost, what I wanted to do was I stopped people. So for example, I'm talking high level pros I've seen doing this nasty weight cut, obviously dehydrated, drink clean water.
Yeah.
Well, that's just suicide. So I banned clean water and drink, and I started putting all of the electrolytes, didn't I, into my weigh-ins. And that was kind of new for the sport.
You was just bringing them and supplying them yourself. You wasn't charging anyone, you know what I mean? Because you want to see the welfare of fighters better.
Well, we've seen fighters go into the hospital after weigh-ins because obviously through dehydration. So it was first and foremost like teaching them about electrolytes, about refuel. So first and foremost, electrolytes. But secondly, then obviously glycogen replenishment. So it was kind of teach them and giving them products in the weigh-ins, about, use this first and then telling people not to drink clean water. So trying to educate people as well, but also, wanting them to do well on the show on the Saturday night and not be in the hospital.
That's it, because if you don't rehydrate and stuff properly, you don't perform.
Well, you've seen it firsthand with Ellis, haven't you? When he did a nasty cut, and I think he ended up in the hospital.
Nasty cut one time. It come out of him too quick, all the water, and he never even ended up fighting. We had to take him to the hospital and get him on an IV. And
I'd seen that so many times over the 6 years of between, obviously, Shinobi Cage Warriors Academy. So that's what kind of started about trying to teach people about post-weigh-in behaviour. Actually,
just one thing before we carry on. I'll never forget when we went to the hospital with Ellis that night. Me and Isaac took Ellis to the hospital, and everything he was drinking, he was just vomiting back up. That's what happens, yeah. It was just coming straight back up. He drank like a litre bottle of water, and he was just spewing it back up. And then, you know what that Royal's like, sitting in the Royal, waiting for ages. Finally, we get brought through, and the woman goes, "Oh, what's wrong, blah, blah." And I said, "He's lost like 6-7 kilo." She went, "In how many weeks?" And I went, "No, overnight."
Exactly.
And she went, rushed him straight through and got him on an IV immediately.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, and even sometimes people maybe don't get to that level, but they're still feeling rough, and then they don't know how to rehydrate, and then they're going into a fight and getting punched in the head. And however you look at it, there's enough science about to say that's dangerous, right? So
very dangerous.
It was always about that to start with, and that's where I think I picked up a little bit of reputation about taking care about that side of it, and then developing the product of Revive and all that kind of stuff. But after that, I started getting into, intuitively I'm thinking, you're fat, but all you've done is sat in a sauna, and you've just about made weight.
We know the prime example of that, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to
say we're talking about, Adam. We know we're talking about you, Vince.
It was my last couple of fights. I mean, I've got him there, haven't I? And he's kind of changed, but he was my biggest challenge. Yeah. Because it was, instead of doing which is all about weight loss, actually fat loss, and getting himself to the optimal body composition.
He had a lot of puppy fat, didn't he? Just a little bit.
Because he wasn't conditioned. So for the start, and he started doing S&C with Liam, so it was a great start. And then we started feeding him properly. And then all of a sudden, Vince, he's shown abs in his last fight, didn't he? I mean,
that's the first, I think.
What the hell?
He had about 7 amateur fights, and he's had about 10 pro fights, and it was the first ever time that he's had abs in his fight. Brilliant, boss to see.
And it's kind of basically because we taught him how to eat, and then how much he should eat, and he stuck to it, didn't he? And then it kind of, so the basics, it all starts at basics. Know how much you eat, know when you should eat, know what your macro breakdown is, of course quality of food to make sure physiologically you're optimizing your health, all this kind of stuff. And people think that you eat for weight loss. No, we want you to eat, but obviously in a deficit that's getting you dropping your weight slowly, but we want to optimise your training,
Yeah,
don't
so you're
we?
getting the energy
You
to put the work in.
We need you to
That's,
peak.
like I mentioned before, that's something that I wasn't doing last time.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
About when I was them fights in 2016, like with Rosa and Nad, as you've seen, I vomited all over the floor in the cage at the end of the fight. I was in the 4th and 5th round. I was just backing away, didn't want to get involved because I knew how gassed I was.
Yeah.
And that was because, like, I got told I was doing that fight 4 weeks out. I was out in a party.
Yeah.
I got a phone call saying, one of my mates, he was watching the Cage Warriors on BT Sport. Oh, you're fighting in 4 weeks, huh? Like, what? Like, yeah, you're fighting this American kid, Julian Rosa. Like, am I? Yeah. I was about 86 kg, 85 kg, and I had to lose, like, 18, 19, 20 kg in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And, like, that week, I started off 77.7 Monday morning, and I made 65.8 by the Friday.
Yeah.
And, like, I looked terrible.
Well, I kind of...
like 2 or 3 weeks leading up to that, I was having no carbs.
And you got some testing around that, weren't you? Around your health
that was,
times.
it was the next fight camp for that, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is all kind of, it's confidential to talk about. It's not worth it. But I'm aware of how that affected you from a health perspective.
I know. I think I know a little bit, didn't I? I was like so much weight away from.
You were in a very dangerous position. Yeah. So that's all I say.
And then I fought the next day
for renal failure, cardiovascular failure. You were in a bad way. How you fought is, I have no idea.
I went 5 rounds that night as well with Nad,
which basically shows how fucking tough you are, because I don't know many people would go and do a half-mile run, never mind go 5 rounds after the state. What I've seen. But the one thing you damaged a lot, and that people don't understand about undereating, there's a thing called REDS, which is relative energy deficiency in sport, which generally has always been about women because it affects hormones. There's a lot of women in MMA that you'll find lose menstrual cycle because they just don't eat enough, and it's damaging hormones. Actually, that's the same in men. Testosterone, you damaged your test seriously.
Testosterone was
and people will do. You've still got to feed. Food is going to affect you through all aspects of performance, including hormonally. And you need hormones to perform and lift and explode and all that kind of stuff. So it went from trying to get people onto a scale, which generally, touch wood, 100% success so far. We've we've had the odd sauna here and there, but everybody's gone unhealthy with a smile on their face, haven't they? And I think even before I worked with you, the only one thing I did for you was make sure you knew what to have after, wasn't it?
Yeah, after to rehydrate, because
electrolytes and
as we said in them previous fights, like a Rosa. People know about me spewing in the cage. That could be the most viewed video of me on YouTube, to be honest. Me throwing up in the cage. The amount of times I got asked, is that blood? Is that blood? It weren't. That was just how much of a stupid young kid I was. I went to Starbucks with Venturi and I got a hot chocolate and was eating Ferrero Rocher in the same mouthful as me hot chocolate. And as you know, I ended up just vomiting it all over the floor in the cage in my post-fight interview. And it just shows how... back then, how little I knew.
And now, and it's funny because I always talk about small percentages, like small gains, we're looking more now generally about periodization of carbohydrate. So, and that's, we're going on the level there, but to start with, it's not small gains for you. When the way you were eating, not enough, or how much weight you were cutting, not having the right post-weigh-in protocol, like that's massive percentage, and now we've kind of got that nailed with you. Now we're into a strength and conditioning program that is around combat sport and specific to you, and now we're getting your eating around that, and then there's levels and levels and levels, right? And it's kind of like, for me, because all I want to see is you do well, it's a kind of, wish we were doing this 2 years ago.
Tell me about it.
Do you know what I mean?
We've only been doing stuff for about 2 weeks, and already I can see why a lot of other pros are already with Paul, and I'm just kicking myself for the fact that I haven't already been doing stuff with Paul, because we've been friends for years. I've known him for years because of MMA and stuff, and I'm like that.
Well, it's kind of, it's kind of my way, because I was conscious because the corporate side, right? Like you've seen in the Calorie taking calls of all kinds. It's like, I'm talking to a fighter, wasn't I, 1 second about his
and then the next one
nutrition.
you're talking to your business partner.
And the next one I'm talking about my business partner about, the business and stuff. So it's kind of the way it is. My problem was when the business was in this stage of, it was mental at the time, and there's loads going on. We open new dealerships, and there's all kinds of other stuff going on that I can't commit to somebody in camp and then find my business pulls me out and let you down.
Yeah.
So it was for me, I never was pushing myself. It was all right, help me somebody maybe get on the scale, but when you're talking about S&C programs and periodization and spending time, and like I'm in the gym more now, and we're trying to talk about generally everything from the gym, aren't we, about being professional and all about performance. But the reason I didn't push myself is because so I do general population PTs, you know, people come in the gym. I work with people who've got obesity. I help people who've got diabetes. I do all kinds of all levels, but I can change them about and have calls and stuff. What I can't mess about with is you in camp.
Yeah.
If I commit, I've got to commit.
Commit 100%.
So, because I can't let you down. It's the stakes are too big.
Yeah.
So it's only now I've been helping loads of people, and I have in the gym generally, but around the nutrition and stuff, I've worked on seriously hard over the last 18 months, putting a grapplers program together, a MMA program together, combat sport program together, and a boxing program together about S&C and progressive S&C and all the things around that. And I'm just trying to show people now and deliver it and show like this is what fits the sport. And I build it around you and how you move and where I think it's weak. So
the part what we need to improve.
Exactly,
for me.
and I think it's going well. And the other thing is, I've got a world-class partner in Carl Evans, who's like different class, head of SSC John Moores Uni.
Yeah, some of the stuff that Paul does at the uni, like you've got Fishy in there, haven't you? You've got Molly in there.
Molly's in there, and Jazza Dickens. It's just all around.
A few boxes and stuff.
That's Carl that's doing the testing and
this is like, I started MMA 10 years ago. There was nothing like this about. No one even really knew what MMA was. You know what I mean? Oh, what cage fighting? Now it actually does get called MMA by people, and you've got to take your hat off to him. It's thanks to Conor McGregor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
He made it a worldwide sport, and to see how far it's come. I was only 15 when I started, and even like with the amateurs in the gym now, like back then, people were doing the pros were doing daft weight cuts, so the habits got passed down to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were just doing what they done because like they're the pros.
Yeah.
We just copy them.
Yeah.
Now we're setting the examples for the younger kids. So like all like your Fran, Connor, Ben, know what I mean? We're setting the examples for all of them.
And you can see that with your Amis, the way they're trying to address things, because lots of them are talking to me after we did that little seminar. They're all starting to think about things differently. They're talking about eating and how much to eat, and and cutting weight properly, and the few that I found out are eating 800 calories and 1,000 calories a day. We've stopped all that. You know, so it's great to see, because once you get that momentum in the gym, it becomes like your gym ethos.
Yeah.
People start understanding.
It's just a cycle, then, isn't it? It just gets repeated and repeated.
We're not eating just to lose weight. We're eating to perform and lose weight.
And to lose weight at the same time.
And that's a kind of a skill set, I guess. But at the moment, like I said, touch wood, it works, doesn't it? We're kind of getting results.
Yeah, it is. So. It's working, and it's boss with the younger lads, because we didn't have that when we was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you said, I've probably impacted my health with some of the weight cuts that I've done.
Yeah.
Like, and I know Ellis has, I know Adam has.
You wouldn't have ever
has.
done. You could never have done. Good job you never did that twice. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
And even like when Molly missed weight in the Liverpool show, that's probably affected her. You know what I mean?
That which is interesting, so because that's the point where. Obviously,
got involved.
I'm quite close
100%.
I'm close to Molly more about because I care about it. But like that's kind of my nature, Pad. I find things that fuel me in life, and actually trying to do my best for other people to see them. That whatever people, I think people find that suspicious at times. Why does he want to do well for me? That's just the way I'm built. But I enjoy it. So you've got to find what fuels you in life, right?
Yeah.
So if I manage loads of people,
like a lot, as you're saying, a lot of people think, money operates people. Money, it's not.
I've never talked to anybody about money. Have I?
I've been doing stuff with you now 2 weeks, and you haven't took a penny off me. Know what I mean? Like, that's just the type of man you are, Paul.
Well, it is, because generally I've helped a lot of gyms, but the one gym is kind of to be fair to Paul, really, who's embraced it and wanted more of it, is Next Generation. Now, I was always quite close to all you lads anyway, but like. I've had a hammer fighter contact me today.
Connor spoke to you before.
Do you know what I mean? And
Liam, as you've always got Liam Gittins as well.
Exactly. So, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not like I'll help anybody to a point, But actually, you know, the reason why I spend more time at your gym is because I was welcomed in. I was asked for opinions. I was kind of, you know what I mean? And of course, it's where I want to train as well. If I do a little session with you today and all that kind of stuff. So it does kind of feel like, and I've always said to you, it feels like my gym, the gym where I go. I was just about to say,
you're basically part of the team.
Yeah, I know.
You are part of the team.
Which is nice. And the Molly thing is because Molly, I don't know if you remember, we flew we were the first regional show to have an American over. Do you remember she fought that? The Yank on Shinobi from Rick Little's gym.
Yeah, I can remember that was in the Olympia. That one, wasn't it?
And it's a big fight because nobody's ever had a yank over, and she was from Misha Tate's gym and all that kind of stuff. And Molly ruined it, didn't she?
Yeah, I can remember. She proper put it on her.
But it was always kind of that story, and I always got on with it well. And when I watched, and I went with my wife, who is my wife now, but I went with her to go and watch Molly, and of course seeing her lose the UFC debut.
Yeah, it
was horrible because I didn't watch any other fights because I was kind of, you know, devastated. But I also knew, just looking at her shape, that I thought she's not in optimal, you know, condition.
Yeah.
So
and you knew for a fact you could have done something about that.
Yeah, but knowing that there's no point me committing, but I couldn't watch the disappointment of Molly and all the things she went through after, because it was hard. You know, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Loss. And the way she lost and everything else, and she lost some of her pay because of missing weight. It's like it kind of couldn't get any much worse, could it? Really?
No.
Was the point of having just a chat and say, I think things should happen differently, and it kind of went well, and it's good today because, you know, to a point, Molly's a different person because she's kind of, instead of just coaching someone constantly, you want to teach them at the same time. She gets it now to a point.
Yeah, she does everything with her trainings all planned out.
Yeah,
she has it meticulously planned out now. You think she's got OCD the way she does it now. Everything's set out. Everything's got a time period. She knows when she's doing it.
Well, it's worked, hasn't it? Because the 3 fights after she's won every fight. She's made weight with no problem. She's looked great. She's looked conditioned. Which is all down to Carl Evans, who's done an unreal job. And my job is just to feed her enough just to lose weight and keep her training going. But from a team perspective, technically linking into S&C, coming to the nutrition side, it's like that's it. It's a team. Whoever does your S&C, and it helps me because I'll do your S&C and nutrition. I speak to Paul all the time. It's a team. I think that's what happens.
That's the thing with, you know, other gyms and other people in this sport say, it's an individual sport. When you're in the cage, it's an individual sport. But before that, it isn't. Before that, like, if it's an individual sport, so just hit the bag for 9 weeks before you fight then, lad. Know what I mean? You're gonna fucking gonna train well for that fight, aren't you? Yeah. It's not an individual sport. Yeah. It's a team sport. Like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. People in this gym, in my gym, they're my family.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
That, mate,
Rim's my second dad. We all call him Uncle Rim in the gym. You know what I mean? I consider all the people in the gym my brothers. Ellis, Adam, Chris.
Yeah, 100%.
I call Fran my little brother. Yeah, know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't understand, like Paul said then, it's horrible to watch you someone that you care about lose, because you do care about them. Know what I mean? People think, they're just there to train with. They're not. I'm in that gym 10 hours a day. The people that I'm there with, you get crazy bonds. People don't understand how close you become. It really is like a family relationship.
Yeah.
Next generation is my second family. And, you know, I can remember being... When Adam lost to Tim in the Echo, I couldn't control myself. I had to stand in the back and cry my eyes out. You know what I mean? Same with when Ellis fought Stupa and got robbed on a crazy decision. Yeah. I went upstairs and cried my eyes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair play, mate. Yeah.
I can't help that. I'm half an emotional person, and when someone that I care about, I can see how upset they are and how it's just affected them, and I know for a fact how hard they've trained leading up to it. It kills you.
And it's kind of, you know, though, I mean, the thing is about combat sport, right? It's all gym to gym. There's all this kind of competition and stuff, like, and I've never got involved in that part of it.
Yeah,
like,
never.
I don't cross paths with you. I'd help anybody in sport, anybody. Like, it's the same with whether I was matchmaking or shows. Like, you know, one is I'm probably too old for that. Two is I've been through all that kind of political bullshit in my corporate job, just like it's competition between businesses and you know. So I never kind of breached that, but I kind of feel, like you say, part of the gym. I've become quite close to Paul, and I think a lot of people think Paul's aloof, and once you get closer to Paul, like, he's got your back, he'll be loyal, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. And helps, I think, also that now I'm his coach from his, kind of conditioning, trying to get him on the, on the right path to getting all his conditioning right and stuff. So, but we talk about loads, and so when we're training together, we talk about all ideas for all you lads and coming up with some stuff. Like we had the seminar and trying to get the, the gym operating differently. So I hate watching any of you lads lose because I'm kind of in the gym a lot, aren't I? So
I know. It kills me.
And even if I only do your nutrition, watching anybody lose is just because I've been talking to them a lot and stuff. It's the same kind of stuff, isn't it?
Like the latest one I can think of is Fran. You know what I mean? He's come up against a much bigger, stronger kid. Yeah. Fran walks around at flyweight. He walks around at championship weight of flyweight. Only if people fought at atom weight, he'd be a killer. You know what I mean? But he fought a kid who was a lot bigger than him. Give him his due. He's got the art of a lion. He got choked and he went out on his sword. I always say that if you're going to put in a choke, it's not like an armbar. You get him woke up 10 seconds later, and he went out on his sword, but I cried my eyes out, you know what I mean? And that shows that's what I feel about my friends, my close friends who are, like I said, I consider me family, and I don't think if your gym's not like that, then you aren't a proper team. You aren't. Yeah,
and I think, the other thing for Fran as well, I think the penny's dropped a bit, because I spoke to him this morning, but he's young, isn't he? So, he don't always make the right decisions.
He's only just turned 18 a few months ago, hasn't he?
But he knows that he's got to start training differently and eating, because sometimes he doesn't eat enough, and I weighed him this morning. He was at championship weight this morning.
That's what I mean. He walks around at championship flyweight. We need to get him over to Japan fighting at atom weight against some of the little Asians.
Yeah, but he's so... But this is the point I'm getting to about performance. Fran has got it all, hasn't he? He's got all the ability. But what he's not doing outside of that is how his strength and conditioning program, and how he eats. He's not doing that. So taking it back to, like you said, about being in the sport's one thing, but when you don't get all these other things right, then you're going to lose a fight that you probably should win because you haven't done the other things right. It's not just about the technical side.
That's what I was like a few years ago. You know what I mean? I've spoke about it before. I was when I was 20, 21. I was very unprofessional. You know what I mean? I was going out partying. I'd go out partying Saturday, Sunday, and I'd come in the gym Monday morning on like 3 hours kip. I'd have Ellis and Adam looking at me like that, and Paul like, you taking the piss, you know what I mean? I'd have them snarling me like, the talent you've got and you're throwing it away like this, you're going with the wrong set of people and stuff like that. And it does, when you become a world champion at 21, it gets to your head, you know what I mean? You think, I'm on top of the world, no one can stop me, and like you don't put as much work in. And then I lost a fight that in my eyes I think I should have won against Nad, you know what I mean? And I lost that fight, and I had to rebuild from that and become a better person. And then after I lost the back, that was the big eye opener, you know what I mean? When I lost the back, because like with my hand and stuff, I had to sit out and let it heal. Before the fight, I was saying, I don't care about my hand, I'm going to beat him no matter what, and then the horrible little bit of fate was I got him in a choke with that arm, and it wasn't strong enough to finish it. You know what I mean? That was a horrible little twist of fate for me, but it's made me realise the bigger picture. Like, I was in a bad place after that fight. There was a lot of things affecting me in my own mind, and I had to come through that, and sorting out me eating and me strength and conditioning and all stuff like that helped it. Being in the gym and training, like when I got the second surgery and not being able to do stuff, that affected me, because when I'm on the mat, nothing else matters. When you're on the mat, you're not thinking about what you're having for tea, or who said that about you, or who's doing this. You just want to train and you want to get better, and you just want to crack on the mat. But outside of it, you're just fighting a battle in your own head at times.
I think some people look at you because of success and your popularity and stuff, and I think they don't realise what age you are, Pad.
I know.
I think it's just kind of normal shit that you've done, and you've made mistakes, and as you start maturing, you're correcting them. But you're at a great age to correct all of them mistakes.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of, everything happened a bit early for you.
Yeah, it did.
If this was kind of happening, you won the world championship around 24, and you had already learnt all this stuff now.
Yeah, it'd be completely different.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
But like, thinking about it, in March I'll have had my first fight 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's.
I ended up having 9 fights over 15 or 18 months then. Won them all amateur. So that's another thing. I say it to all the amateurs. I wish I would have lost when I was an amateur.
could have kicked you up the
that
arse,
record means nothing.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it gives you the biggest kick up the arse
Yeah.
you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do this. Said it to Ben, Fran, all of them, told them, you know what I mean? That them losses, they're a big thing. And I never had it at amateur. So I was just riding high, cracking on with that. And I was 17 when I went pro. And then during Cage Warriors when I was 18, won my debut against a tough opponent. And then lost my next fight against Cameron Else, which a fight that I felt I should have went in and just dominated. And that made me switch on even more so, you know what I mean? That made me think, yeah, what am I doing? And then I went on a 9-fight win streak. And again, like we were saying, I was only 20, 21. Everything just got to me head. I was like, yeah, I'm the best in the world, I'm this, I'm that. And I stopped focusing on stuff and just like doing exactly what I've been doing the whole time. When you've got to adapt and become a better fighter, like we are doing now. I'm like, I'll be honest, I wish I would have lost when I was an amateur, you know.
I know, but the thing is, I mean, I don't know, sometimes I don't know why, there's a thing about protecting records is one thing, and it, like you just
amateur,
say, like,
I don't understand it.
It's,
you know what I mean?
You know, I've seen, obviously, of matchmaking for as many years as I had done, and I have to say, you know, which was a good time, but I think my last show was December 2018, it was the last time I ever did it, and I don't miss it, Pad, I'll be honest with you, mate, I don't miss not promoting anymore, not matchmaking, because like it was so hard work. But you kind of met all like some top people from top gyms. I met some fucking not top people as well, like, but you could kind of see the gyms that were like, it's dead easy to spot gyms protecting fighters. Gyms are like, go and give him the experience fight for amateurs. If I was to pick anybody out, I'd say Andy Ryan was the best example. He was like, I want to just, yeah, he's not, like, I've seen him go, this 2-0, I know he's 6-1, but I look at the skill now, this lad's as good, and I don't care, just go and get him his amateur experience.
That's like, I've mentioned him a few times now, but Fran, he's 5-3.
Yeah,
he's fought some of the best flyweights in the country.
Well, he's fought
Ben Kelly,
big men.
He's 4-2 or 5-3. He's fought some of the best in the country. Little Connor Wilson. He's fought a who's who of flying bantamweights in the country. You know what I mean?
I get it if you think it's the skill level is that wide that it could hurt him. Like, I get that, right? But if you think you've got enough, you know, you've trained your fighter well enough and stuff, get them experience. I think that the one thing I noticed, even talk about Andy Ryan quickly, is that the IMAF.
I was going to mention then, though, someone who. He's fought lads from our gym multiple times now. Kieran Mulholland. Yeah. Is that from Andy?
No, he's from Belfast.
Kieran Mulholland, he'd fight anyone. Give him his due. He'll fight anyone on a week's notice. I proper like that lad. Know what I mean? He's fought some of the lads from our gym. He's beat some and he's lost.
Great attitude, and he's always kind of like his record. I mean, he's got a big record. He's had loads of fights, and he's lost quite a few. But either way, he's always in the fight, isn't he?
He is.
There's
always,
never, like, you know, you don't beat him easily. If
give
you
him
get
his due.
Yeah.
He's got. I think he's like 10-7 amateur, and he went pro, and he fought Nathan Fletcher from our gym in his pro debut. Right. A lot of people from other gyms. Oh, just let's fight him. First few fights.
He took the
like
fight,
I started my career on OMAC, and that wasn't the best show, as we all know. And I fought Nathan Thompson in my first fight. Bit of a journeyman, you know what I mean? He was, I think he was like 4-24 or something mad like that. You know what I mean? And like I fought someone like that, and Kieran stepped up and fought Nathan, who's won the bantamweight tournament on Cage Warriors, and then and then was 1-0 pro. And like you say, he's always in the fight. He got Nathan in a beat and he could choke. I was like that watching on my iPad.
It was
come
tight.
On, get out, Nathan, get out, mate.
No, it was tight as well, and it kind of like, I mean, Nathan did well, didn't he, to kind of get out of it. But all that kind of stuff about experience at Amis is just, you know, just staying on the point for the second. It was like the IMAF thing, sending the most experienced fighters, and I kind of sometimes think, well, they're about to go pro, and I noticed Andy Ryan said, no, I don't send me most experienced, I send me least experienced, because I want them to have the just 4 or 5 fights.
Ben Kelly went there, didn't he?
Because they get a lot of fights, don't they?
Ben was like 2-1 or 3-1 when he went there.
But how many fights? 2 or 3 fights, and he gets a lot of experience in a short amount of time.
He knocked him out in his first fight, and then the second fight he got out-wrestled by a Bahrainian.
Yeah, and like, by the way, he's a talent. He's going to be a talent.
He's going to be very good. He's only 18, Ben, and...
Well, I think, the AMI thing was interesting to watch. You always knew the gyms would just say, yeah, take the fight, and other gyms would maybe not. And I guess, you know, I don't know. I suppose there's fighters that don't take losses that badly and fighters that take losses horribly. They might not come back to the gym. So I guess you have to take that into to consideration. But if a loss, like you say, if you take it the right way, it drives you to
Yeah,
be
it does.
better, doesn't it?
That's it.
That's it.
Like, you're not wrong there. We've had people in the gym in the past who've lost and they've just never come back. Or we've had people who've lost and they've went to a different gym and blamed Paul and blamed us in the gym.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? You can't blame your team around you. You're the one that's got to put the work in. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't think there's any other gym like ours.
No, well, I tell you what.
None of us pad records. We don't continuously fight crabs until we get in the UFC. You know what I mean? We get on Cage Warriors and fight proper opponents.
Well, one thing that you see is that you help each other a lot when you're on the mat. So that, you know, because the most important part is actually, you talk about teamwork, is Paul pulling that team together. But like when you're all on the mat together, you're all helping each other, aren't you? There's the teamwork. So part of you say like, it's not an individual sport, because my teammates help me prepare. Yeah. They help me do all the technical stuff.
Like this morning we sparred.
Yeah.
What am I going to do if we've got no sparring partners?
Exactly, yeah. Or sparring partners at your level and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
If you haven't got that, then when it comes into a fight, your head's going to fall off. You're going to be like, what, he's so much better than people who normally go with. So you need a good team around you. You need the base. Yeah. If you haven't got that, you can't build up from it, can you?
Yeah, 100%. And I think this is going to be an interesting 2020 for next gen.
There's
some big fights coming in there.
Some big fights coming up.
The March with you Friday, Molly Saturday.
Molly Saturday.
It's going to be a busy week down in London that week.
I don't know if Big Bonner's on that as well, or he's on Manchester.
Oh right, okay.
I think there's someone else on that card for me, to be honest. Then we've got Adam Wilson versus Scott Malone. Great fight. It's good one for Adam. That he's Scott Malone fought for the title, hasn't he? So that's a very good one for Adam. Ventry versus Stapes. I'm gonna have Vents on next week. That's going to be funny. He said he's going to... Got to tune in for that, people. That's going to be funny. He said he's going to go in depth on how the dinosaurs became extinct. So that'll be a great laugh, that one. But you've got a strong army. You've got like some top armies on that night. So March is a bit... Like, think of March for the gym is big, because I think you've got Manchester, Cage Warriors, you've got Budo, you've got some lads on. FCC in March as well. FCC in March, you've got then you at Cage Warriors London, Molly UFC London. Like the way you mentioned Nathan Fletcher before, another one, Liam Malloy. He's a talent, you know what I mean? He's 1-0 pro. He's got some of the crispest boxing I've seen, southpaw, and he's a PT himself. Yeah, well he's actually in the uni, and obviously where Carl's head of S&C, and I think he's doing his masters there, and which is great to see. And you can see that he kind of gets it. And I talk to Liam a lot because, whilst I'm talking to you guys, he's a guy that's kind of studying. I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm just like, Paul, you tell me what to do. You tell me what to do. You do this, because we're already starting to bounce off each other about MMA specific kind of S&C and things like that, and I'm gonna. I think we're in on Thursday next week. So Tuesday, Thursday, when we're on the Thursday, he's got Vents, I think, as well. Yeah. So we're gonna just look and collaborate. There's no to pick ideas. Always about that. See, that's the thing as well in our gym. Like Liam was an amateur until late last year, and he was doing Adam Ventsy's S&C with him. And Adam Ventsy's like a 10-fight pro. In other gyms, that wouldn't happen. No, yeah. There's people like, no, he's beneath me. You know what I mean? Some pros like that in other gyms, but I mean, to be fair to him as well, that's being dead honest. Knowing it's hard work for me. And then Adams, you can see there's a change now. But whether I was doing his nutrition to get him on the scale, or Liam's had to get him into S&C with somebody that has never done it, and it was a task for Liam. It's not an easy task because somebody's already at a level. So props to Liam. He kind of. He did his job because Vance was better, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. And he was at such a low level of a starting point about doing any S&C or understanding anything about it. It was he'd moan at me if I told him to just jog to the gym. I know. Never mind getting an S&C program. You know what I mean? So, Ventry is a prime example of how you and other people like Liam and Lloyd have helped out, because what was the Irish lad he fought on Shinobi a while back? And then Cage Warriors Academy when he fought Fowler, even Tim Barney, he struggled. That was 160 and he struggled. So you talking about Tuke fights? You talking about? No, he didn't. No. Well, no, he struggled for that. No, I'll never forget about that. Adam Wilson had a horrendous weight cut. He tried to get to flyweight, didn't he? That time. And I swear to God, one eye was facing forward and the other eye was pointing over there. Oh, it was ridiculous. Yeah. And I give Adam Wilson his due. He was like, a key and a half over, he was like, and we go here, I'll get in the sauna, Pad, I'll get in the sauna, and just went, lad, you're not getting in the sauna. It's like, look at you, lad, you're not getting in the sauna. And then Vince lying on the floor being a big bitch going, I can't do any more. And I'm like, lad, look at him, and he's saying he'll get back in the sauna. We got to the weigh-in, and Vince like that, I can't do any more. And I went, lad, Dylan Tuke's in that sauna, and you're telling me he can't get in it? What? Come on, let's get in it then. Got in there, and he looked around and went, where is he? And I went, I fucking got you there, didn't I? And he made weight.
Well, that's the funny thing about when I'm saying to him, I said, it was worked for me both ways. One is I said, like, I'm going to help you start making weight. Secondly,
last time you should have seen him. Like, he didn't even have to do a bath in the morning. He done one bath in the night, and he woke up on weight.
But I said to him, I'm also, when I was running my shows, it was like, and it helps me because you stop fucking everything up because you keep missing weight, and the other lot are complaining, and then I'm having to give your purse away.
Yeah, I remember they had to give his whole purse away.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just to get the fight on. Yeah. To be fair, Dave Matthews was great, by the way, with it all, because he missed by quite a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He missed by about 5 pounds.
Yeah, so it kind of worked both ways. I thought if I help him make weight, it's better for me show when I match him, but also it was more about how can you not love Vency, you know what I mean? He's just such a great lad, so I just want to help him. And I like a challenge. And fuck me, I got one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You did there, like.
So, but yeah, like if you look at him now, even his start. So I started that camp, which he made weight comfortably at 87.8 kilos. He started this one 80 or just over 80.
Yeah, just over 80.
So already, you know,
you can see the difference.
He's learned, hasn't he? And he's kind of starting now. That's a hell of a difference for a start point for me. You know what I mean?
That's it. Like, Vince's not as bad as me. I've literally got a black hole in my stomach. It's a bottomless pit. People don't understand. Anyone that's me mate or that has been for scrans with me understand. When I eat me scran, and then if me mate there hasn't finished, quick is that, nail that, know what I mean? Over Christmas, not gonna lie, I can sit there and eat like 4 big bars of chocolate in one sitting. How many calories is that? About 2,000 just in the chocolate.
Yeah, probably not far off, yeah.
And then I was eating the big breakfast, know what I mean? Over Christmas, I'm terrible. I was probably eating about 5,000 to 8,000 calories a day, and like now, like we were saying the other week, it needs to be 80-20 even when you're out of camp. 80% healthy, 20%
you can't. So the thing about fighters, you're already enough in a stressed environment, right? You're pushing yourself every day. Your fight or flight is there. You've got to fight and spar and get punched and feel shit, and the last thing you want to do is go outside and stress yourself all out about food, because you know we've got to be strict to a point, which again is more about calories than anything else.
That's the thing I noticed with the calories, that I'm sponsored by Macro Chef. Joel sorts me out all my store, my food. He helps us all out, you know what I mean? And I noticed it because he'll give me like a wrap, and that has like 300 calories in, and then I'll eat a Whisper Gold, and that's got 250 calories in, and then I fell in love with white Twixes a few weeks ago, and in the Tesco they're like the extra ones, so they're longer. In one of them there's 390 calories. And I was eating them, and then
which is one of Joel's meals.
Yeah, I was looking at a big Macro Chef scan. It's got like 360 or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, what?
And that's where you've got to be careful, because the other thing is, of course, like you eat chocolate, you want more chocolate, you know. And the bottom line is, we're still always going to get you to have a protein target and a carbohydrate target and a fat target. What we don't want you to do is getting all the calories from chocolate, because what we're not going to do is get any benefit from your training.
That's it.
So, you know, first and foremost is calories. But like I said, when I was doing the talk for all the guys, like first and foremost calories. Secondly, though, it is quality of food and how it's made up for how you train every day. Because you're not coming in to do a fat loss program. You're coming in for a performance program that you need to be in a slight deficit to lose weight. It's different.
Before, I always had you to turn to. The one person in the gym I'd turn to, because he's on the ball, is Ellis. Ellis knows all this stuff, know what I mean? He'd tell me, no, you need to do this, you need to do that on these days, you need to have this. And like the other week, after I was meant to, after I've made weight and stuff, and then a few days later, I was eating them white Twixes, and I was going upstairs and doing a walk on the treadmill to burn like 400 calories, and Ellis was like, what's the point in doing that, because you're going to eat a Twix?
So it's kind of, I did a video, actually, a health and wellness video yesterday, and we were talking about New Year's resolutions and fat loss, because everybody comes back New Year.
Everyone.
And one of the things I was talking about was like you get gym memberships, and because I'm involved in a gym and I PT out a couple of gyms, general population gyms, I'm seeing people come in and join and spend money and then walk on a treadmill for half an hour, right? So they've travelled 20 minutes to get to the gym, they walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes, they have to get 20 minutes back, and I'm trying to say to people, that's a waste of time, right? Because believe it or not, you walk or do a light jog, you're 100, 150 calories, Pad, right? What I'm saying to them is, if you want to get that 100 and 150 calories, you go and walk the dog, play with the kids, go and spend time with you, go for a walk, spend time outside, park your car further out when you go shopping instead of being a lazy bastard and stand, it's all that kind of stuff.
That's something Ella said to me the other week. He was like, what are you doing that? You're better going up and lifting.
But the most important thing is, if you want to get 100 and 150 calories, just fucking eat less. Right? Cut a latte out.
It's easy.
Cut a little bit about, because that takes seconds to make that decision.
Yeah.
Not an hour out of your day that you may be working. You've got family to look after the stuff. It's like counterproductive for you.
You're spot on there, because my favourite drink out of camp is cherry coke. And cherry coke has like 160 calories in a can. I can sit there and drink 5 cans in one sitting over like a period of 4 hours, just sitting there watching stuff and playing on the Xbox.
There's today's training almost done that.
Exactly.
And you've had to work your bollocks off today.
Proper,
and you've done it. And
loads of sparring, loads of pads, and then if I did go home and drink a few cans of cherry coke, that'd just all be like, I get told as well, drinks empty calories. I'll never forget, Joe Neal said that to me years ago. What are you drinking that for? You're best getting a diet drink. And I just don't like diet drinks.
No, and the thing is, well, I mean, even diet drinks, I think at the end, I get where you're coming from about, you still want the things that are nice, but then 1 can now and then, not 5 cans in one go. And, all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is, you've got to find this deficit right. And I just think, what's easier to do? Knock 1 can of Coke off, or walk for half an hour in the gym and get yourself ready. You just knock 1 can of Coke off. Don't waste your half an hour. Don't do that technically.
That's the thing with me. Like, Paul says it, Alice says it, everyone says it. I just gorge. You know what I mean? I'm either proper healthy or proper unhealthy.
I will say, it's a hypothesis, but the bottom line is, you've done lots of horrible cuts.
Yeah.
There's a thing called hyperphagia when you do lots of bad cuts.
Yeah.
And the hyperphagia mainly is you want loads of food and eat. It's an actual condition that comes on the back of doing lots of horrible weight cuts. Probably to use Ricky Hatton
as an example,
because he did horrible cuts and he goes horrible cuts.
The first half of his camp was always losing weight and then focusing on his pads.
So, and it is that kind of, if you can do your cut in a healthier way, steadily way, and don't come for such a high, then you won't get that effect as much. But when you're doing horrible cuts and you're starving yourself, that's why you see people blow up, because they just want to eat the world that's in front of them. And that you will have some of that, there's no doubt, because you've done horrible cuts.
And like, I'll be honest, when I have done them horrible cuts, like when I used to make championship featherweight, within 2 weeks I'll have put 20 kilo on.
and that
because like the next day I'd weigh in at that, where I'd done like a stone or a bit more overnight, I'd wake up the next day at like weigh in at 66, I'd wake up the next day at 76, so then I'd easily put another 10 kilo on.
And to put that in perspective, like putting 20 kilo on in almost 2 weeks, put that in perspective, if I paid somebody unlimited money and said go and put 20 kilo on in 2 weeks, most people would find that really hard to be able to. Honestly, so it kind of shows just what I've been talking about, really. Like, to flex that much up and down in weight is like, it's kind of serious.
It's scary. Yeah. It is. It's scary.
And that's why, get back to it. All it's about. All we try to do is, again, giving Carl a shout out. Like, I've got an immense resource in Carl to bounce off, and we get on great. And of course, he's at such a high level academically, as well as, to be honest, fucking good coach. Because I'm not always the greatest fan of academics and theory. Yeah. Because sometimes they don't know how to.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, because they don't know how to coach. I'm a working class lad that did well in my corporate life. I'm not a chartered accountant. I've got no exams. Yeah. I come across people who've got business degrees and I can leave them standing. That's not to say I don't respect academia, but if you can't coach it, take the theory and then apply it to a human who does human shit, right? It kind of doesn't matter, because you all do things differently, and then we have to adapt and think what works for you and what makes you kind of switched on.
We always get asked, what's the best diet? A keto diet, a vegan diet, and not one diet is the best diet.
No,
Different diets suit different people.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm a diabetic, so, you know, of course, there's a specific diet. I don't kind of eat to any kind of diet. I eat to make sure I'm physiologically at the healthiest point I can be. Now, in the one thing for you guys, like, the diet's got to be, you've got to be fueled enough with energy, and that's going to be carbohydrate based. You've got to be repaired properly from your muscle point of view. So everything you've done through S&C for the adaptation, we need protein, obviously, and then hormonally, really, you know, fats, just all the health benefits of fats. Like, it's got to be there. Picking diets out, you know what? Bottom line is, if it works for you,
it works.
Doesn't matter what it calls. Like, don't let anybody tell you it's wrong. If it's working for you, you find it easy to apply. It's the way you like to eat. You've got good energy. You're winning in your fights. Your S&C's working good.
Crack on the way it is.
Fuck what anybody else says.
That's what I mean.
That's
people,
what you got
when
to do.
it comes to diets and stuff like that, people get brainwashed quite easily.
Yeah, but there's so much information, mate, from so many dickheads. You know, like, who are real influencers about weight loss and what should work, and vegan and vegetarian or carnivore or whatever it is. Like, everybody's arguing. I think if you didn't understand it and you wanted to make decisions, you wouldn't know what to do, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
And I always try to say to people, like, take your time. There's no overnight switch to finding their health. You've got to find what works for you. And generally, that's going to be a bit balanced. Yeah, a bit of meat, just balance, yeah. And then, but number one, manage your calories.
Yeah.
Number two, then how it works for you.
I've said it before, say it again, that is the one thing I never used to do. I'd never ever count calories.
It's crazy because, like, calorie surplus is the devil to health. And
Well,
it's certainly,
you know, Paul, I've only just got a heart rate monitor this week.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm only just figuring that out myself.
Yeah, but it already switching you on, isn't it? You're already interested in, like, what I'm doing. So, and all the things is about, one is the benefits you get, but two is it's what it does for you psychologically. It's making you switch on.
Yeah,
You're interested now in what, like, your calorie burn, your heart rate zones. We've been talking about that today. It's like, it's changing you already. And it's bit by bit doing the little changes, heart rate zones.
It's making me even more professional as I go on.
S&C, your first session, and all the little bits we had to correct and technique. Second session, you were on it. All of a sudden, form came quite quickly. You lifted more than on the first session when we were testing. You know, you looked on it, and just in that one session, form changed, hip hinge changed, you know, all that kind of stuff. You could see it. So
and that's down to you, can't I?
I know, but you know, yeah, but the thing, I always say, like, anybody who wants to coach, you've got to try and teach the person at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in, like, it's all about keeping clients for a lot of people, so I don't want to give too much information away. That wouldn't feed me. I want to try and coach the person that actually, to a point, my involvement is always to be there and talk to and push them a bit or correct stuff, but you actually get it.
Yeah.
Because you're easier to coach than when you get it. You make your own decisions at the times you need to when you train on your, you know, that kind of stuff, train on your own.
When we're not together and when you're not just getting told.
Yeah, because when you do it, if you do a lift on your own, you go to the gym, when you're kind of out of camp, you haven't got a fight coming up and you're going to keep yourself ticking over, which will always keep a program going.
I used to lift on my own and my form was off. I was doing
and it was quite way off, Pad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way your form was, you would never got your max strength out of it anyway. But apart from that, you could have been risking injury and all the other stuff. But second session round, all of a sudden it's changed. You kind of got it. You know, it kind of started lifting in a good form. Now that's 2 sessions, mate. Now we need 12 months, and I'll be honest, to get you optimal, we need 12 months work. We're going to get far to the next fight, but it's going to keep going.
Keep going and going.
Because you come from a level, and you know you've got to keep going.
That's another thing. Then I was very unprofessional. I'd done years ago. I'd fight, and then you wouldn't see me in the gym for 2 weeks. I'd be out partying, going for food constantly. You know what I mean? And I said this the other week. Me and Vince said this. As I turned to Vince before, like, the week of the fight, and was like, lad, I'm going to keep my weight down after this fight. And we just, after the fight, obviously when I was meant to fight, I never. And we both just turned to each other and went, the biggest lie any MMA fighter can ever say is, I'm keeping my weight down after this fight. Because for 8 weeks, maybe longer, you've dieted and you want to indulge.
Yeah, and it's this hyperphagia we were talking about, and I think there's way. Look, the bottom line is, I think whatever events he's done, he's like 7 kilo lighter than he was last time.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to go out and let your hair down, mate. You've got to go and you've been in an intense environment for a long time, so you've got to find the relax. You should be able to go out and have a blowout with the lads. Go and eat some shit food. It's the shit food and how much and consistently you do that over the last couple of weeks. Go and have a few blowouts. It's fine. Blow the fucking cobwebs off, get the chill out, get it out your mind, and then get going, because you can't sustain that. You cannot sustain the discipline of I've got to manage my diet all the time. As soon as I finish my fight, you can't do it, mate. It'll burn the fuck of you out. You just can't do it. So it's have your blowout, have your cheat meals, but there's a way to do your cheat. Still know you can eat 2,500 calories with just ticking over in the gym nicely and have a few cheat meals and a burger and chips and not kill yourself and not come in seriously overweight. 5 chocolate bars and 5 cans of Coke, is a different matter. But it's just that little bit of discipline. But you've got to have a blowout. You've gone through horrible camp. You've gone to have a hard fight. You've got to have your little blowout. Yeah. So it shouldn't be about I'm going to keep my weight down. It's I'm going to relax a bit. I'm just going to manage how much of the shit I have. Yeah, and then come back in. That's the way to think about it.
I know, it is. Well, because we're both MMA, I thought we'd done it last week with Webb, so we'll do the picks.
Oh, yeah.
UFC this weekend. Yeah. The fight card. JDS vs Blade. How do you say his name? Blades? Whatever Blades, it is anyway.
Blades. Curtis Blades.
Yeah. I can remember watching JDS knock Velasquez out. That shot behind the ear. So I'll go JDS, mate.
I'm going Blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big hitter. I just think JDS' chin has gone.
It's them wars with Velasquez, the second and third
so I'm
fight.
going for the younger, hungrier.
Co-main event, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Michael Chiesa.
Just Dos Anjos.
Dos Anjos, yeah. I always thought if Dos Anjos was still a lightweight champ when McGregor was fighting for the belt, I thought Dos Anjos would have beat him, would have took him down and beat him. Just the styles make fights, and then a fellow Englishman, Arnold Allen versus Nick Lentz.
I do like Arnold, mate.
I do. He's a nice lad as well. Lentz
has got talent, but I think Arnold Allen beats him. I do. I think he could
catch him in a sub or something, to be honest. I really do.
I just think his striking is aggressive and on point as well. I think I like him. I'm going for Arnold Allen.
I am myself, and looking down there, I don't really know anyone else. It's not a big card, is it? It's a fight night. So
it's a fight night. Yeah.
The main 3 fights are the ones that we know. Other than that, I don't really know anyone else. So, just before we leave, if anyone likes me hoodie, got this off one of my sponsors, 4D Fashion. Check them out. Yeah. I want to thank you for your time, Paul.
Pleasure, mate. Thanks for having me on, mate. Top man.
Thank you. You've tuned into episode 3 of Chattin Pony with Paddy The Baddy. Nice one for watching and listening, guys.